This short tutorial is going to show you just how to pull your prints. So you'll want to watch this after you've already created your printing plate, your sketch, and you're actually ready to pull your prints. All right, so after you are done building your plate using your different materials, you might want to clean off some of the extra hot glue strings, but hopefully you are able to get your plate to look similar to your sketch. At this point in the project, you will not need your sketch. You'll want to hold on to it to turn it in. But now we're going to start using the printing plate along with our printing ink and our rubber brayer. Once you are ready to print, you should get some printing ink, and it will be in a plastic container or sometimes on a metal or glass tray. And then you're going to want to use your rubber brayer to spread the ink. So just roll it on. It's going to be kind of thick, but you want to roll it so that your brayer is completely covered and the paint is spread out completely. So once you have your brayer loaded up nice and well with your printmaking ink, you're going to roll it along your project. So I have a piece of newsprint behind my printing plate so that any excess doesn't get on the table, but it gets on that piece of newsprint. And you want to roll it nice and well so that all of your pieces get covered with ink. You'll notice some areas it's harder to get ink on because they're flatter or shorter. You just kind of have to angle your brayer and really brush on that ink so that you cover your plate. These lower areas where the cardboard is might not get ink on them, and that's okay. All right, so once you have your plate nice and covered, you can get ready to print. You will want to move the printmaking ink and get out a clean piece of newsprint for the printing process. So I'm going to move our kind of scratch paper away, and I'm going to put my printing plate on a clean piece of newsprint. Then I'm going to take my printmaking paper. This is just a nice thin paper, and I'm going to line it up on top of my plate. Using a clean, separate brayer, I'm going to hold down my paper and press down, rolling over my plate over that paper. So I'm not putting too much pressure to fold or bend the paper, but I am putting enough pressure to make sure that those different areas print onto this paper. All right, once you believe that you've got the whole surface rolled over, you can carefully pull your print off, and you will see that the ink has transferred from your plate onto your printmaking paper. You will notice that your first print might be a little splotchy in areas. That's because we had covered this in ink and a lot of it came off on your first print that you've pulled. What you can do is take another piece of paper, and without applying any more ink on your printing plate, pull another print. So we're going to place the paper down, holding it down and roll it with our brayer. Just like we did the first time, except we've added no new ink. I'm gonna roll over the whole surface, making sure to get all the edges and corners. And then once you're ready, you may pull this print off of your plate. This is what we call a ghost print because we've not added any more ink. It is what was left on the plate. So you will notice this one's a little bit splotchier. This one has a little less detail, but it's also a bit clearer in some areas. Once your printing plate dries, you can try using other colors of ink. You can also reprint on the same piece of paper to get kind of a 3D effect or to layer it, similar to screen printing that we've seen in the pop art field. But in general, this is what your prints will probably look like, depending on how much detail and what materials you use. You might get some really clear or less clear prints. Once you've created your prints, you can wait for them to dry and then add details using marker or paint. So that is the basic way to pull prints using a cardboard Collagraph printing plate and your brayer and printmaking ink. We will be using this method in class to pull our prints. Hope you enjoy.